Okay, prior to the meeting, I just want to go ahead and welcome everybody informally. And so, again, as we comply with the new recording requirements, the Salem City Hall meetings for the Board of Works and the Common Council are on YouTube. We are at Salem City Hall at Salem City Hall. So we are live as we go. So please, it is 5 o'clock. We will go ahead and call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order here August 11th at 5 p.m. in the council chambers. We will start the agenda with roll call. Please, Dan.
Dan Lipke, Board of Public Works and Safety.
Jake Vissing, City Attorney.
Justin Green, Mayor.
Cindy Brandenburg, Deputy Clerk Treasurer.
Warren Jones, Board of Public Works and Safety.
Okay, we are all present and accounted for. Sally is out tonight. She has a clerk treasurer's conference, so she is in the middle of that and will be out a few days. So Cindy, thank you for filling in those necessary duties. Okay, Board, please, if you will, on your agenda under your minutes of meeting, page 1 and 2 for the prior month.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of July 14th, 2025.
Dan makes the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Truck seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, moving on the agenda, mayor's comments. I've got just a few here we'll share tonight. So let's just jump in with the South Main rehabilitation. Again, Board, it bears being repeated. It is two different projects, of course, and as you well know, the upgraded water line installation was the first leg, and so water line is in the ground. Those connections have been made. There's just a few items of the punch list that remain on that particular job. And so, again, some of the next steps, if you will, is the utility location from our data carriers. So between Frontier, Spectrum, anybody in the telecommunication world, there's still a few of those to be relocated. And so once that gets done, NDOT does give the formal nod. And so the second phase, which is the pretty stuff, as we all well know, North Main, this project mirrors, and it's the same project on South Main. So when it comes down to the final product, no, you do not see anything resembling a final road product at this point. So all that gets milled, that gets changed. It goes through a series of curb and gutter, sidewalk, ADA compliance, street lights, the whole job lot. So that is forthcoming. So parallel to that, if you will, and to the side street, Poplar Street, as you well know, is the current CCMG, the Community Crossing Matching Grant. That is on schedule. Again, that is a state grant that Salem, like many street utilities, apply for and receive. And so that is on track, on task, and it did have some hurdles as well, as we've talked about. There's some issue with stormwater drainage that desperately needed fixed, and there's some relocation of the utilities, Duke being the main one, needing to bury and do a trunk line for that project. So it is ongoing and proceeding. Mentioned last month, I'll just say again, Kimball Boulevard is your next CCMG, so as that traffic bears down on the Kimball Boulevard entrance and takes it into the Retail Development Shopping Center, that will be the next one to be addressed because it is seeing a lot of heavy traffic, as we well know, and so that needs some attention before it gets too far bad. Proud to announce the next On the Bricks series, gang, if you haven't seen, is Baked on the Bricks. So featuring baked goods from our local cookie, pastry, pie, the like. Those vendors will be set up on August 22nd here on the Bricks, and so that's of interest if you've got an appetite. I hope to see all of you there and patronize some of our local bakers. Tomorrow, tomorrow, the Indiana University Center for Rural Engagement, the CRE, Center for Rural Engagement, who's helped Salem and Washington County with several projects in the past, including our Pocket Park out back. Heritage Park is one of those that they helped us with. And so they're in town tomorrow doing some tours and possibly talking about some additional opportunities the university and the city may partner up with. So they'll be here tomorrow. Lastly, I had on my notes, one of our contractors doing the wastewater project for the collection system outside the plant. So Cooley is our contractor who is rehabbing the manholes. And if you drove around town and see the circles that have been now embedded into the manhole lids so many inches out, that's what they're doing as they take that casting, repair it, and then go inside the manhole itself and on down. And so they're tasked with that and have made a lot of progress. And as the priority list was given to them, so that's why you see them in a variety of places, because those manholes, as you've heard me say, we have over 900. And so getting to those and addressing what they need, they're all different, they're all unique, but their work is all the same. So Cooley is tasked with that. They've done several so far, as you have seen as you drive by. Okay, please, board, let's jump down next. Reports from departments. Brandon, wastewater.
So there's not a lot for me to talk on this month because we're focused on our Cameron, so that takes up a lot of our time trying to televise the rest of the sewer for the year. We did have a couple pumps go out down at the plant. We've got those pulled and those are put back in. They were put back in this month, so they're not on this month's report. We did do 2 taps. We replaced the tap at Cheddar Depot because it was defective, and we had a new tap on Smith Street for a house that they remodeled there. Besides that, like I said, most have been televising this month.
And so go into that just for a second. When we do the televising of the lines, it's part of our inventory management. So you literally take linear foot pictures.
Yep.
and scan those linear feet and say, okay, manhole to manhole, this section is 500 feet, 200 feet, what have you. But those mappings, if you will, that camera diagram, that's part of our inventory management. And so we're noticing and collecting that data as we do point repairs, or we do calls from homeowners, or just our own line maintenance.
Yep. We got to do it every 4 years, do the complete system, which is 50 miles of gravity sewer. That's a lot to Cameron. So, yeah, it keeps you busy trying to keep up with that, especially during with the rain season and stuff like that. You're limited on when you can do it.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's when it's really hot is the best time to do it.
Well, yeah, there's that. And so in doing that, you may find a void or a tree root, something that was not there last time. And so again, it goes back to some preventative maintenance at the same token. Let's get in there and let's camera everything, and we know what we've got. And hopefully then the next visit, you compare that data, I assume.
Yep. Yeah, we make a note if there's anything defects or anything like that. We will make a note of that so we can come back at a later time and correct the defects so that it's fixed.
Right, okay. Board, anything? Brandon?
I have nothing.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, water department, please, Jennifer. So, you have been busy and addressing and looking into and helping us navigate a seasonal defect with our large amount of heat and excessive amount of rainfall.
Yes.
So Jennifer, let's take some time because we've got a few folks who have visited tonight.
Okay.
And so, loosely translated, our surface water treatment plant is going through what a lot of surface water treatment plants are going through because of excessive heat and rainfall.
Yes, absolutely.
And so when we look around southern Indiana, that's not painting with a broad brush, because not everybody, again, we've said this before, but I think it warrants repeated. Not everybody has a surface water treatment plant. Not everybody has a surface water treatment plant that has the same chemical makeup that we do.
Exactly.
And so For example, some of our neighbors have what's called a groundwater treatment plant.
Yes.
And so groundwater, if they have that as their water source, groundwater is just, as it sounds, groundwater is naturally filtered through a series of rocks, channels, gullies, until it gets to an endpoint where it's drilled and tapped and
Yes.
comes in as raw water to the plant at that point.
It does.
So we have some friends, not neighbors, that aren't too far from here that do just that, whether it's a river, whether it's an aquifer.
Yes.
Those type of things lend to ground treatment. We don't have ground treatment.
No.
So a few weeks ago, we noticed we were having a little bit of a disruption from what's known as geosmin.
Yes.
So Jennifer, help me. Am I reading right? Geosmin is basically a scientific term for extra or excessive runoff
It is.
into a surface body water.
Yes.
So geosmin is naturally occurring with the heat, with the rains,
Yeah.
and it pools up
It does.
and then aggravates, help me here, board, I'm going to speak for Danny and Warren, but this also then aggravates a potential algae issue, is that right?
The heat definitely, and the nutrients from all that coming in definitely fed into a algae bloom that we haven't seen in over a decade. So yes.
So geosmin kind of acts as a precursor to, hey, this is going to feed other things below the surface.
Yes, and it's an earthy, musty smell that everybody's smelling right
So
now.
earthy, musty, that's a good label. We noticed some earthy, musty that was, okay, is this truly from algae? Is this truly from what's going on? And so in doing that, our neighbors, for example, and they're not here, and certainly I'm going off some limited data, but varying degrees, our neighbors, maybe Borden Tri-County, maybe Stucker Fork,
Yes.
Monroe and Patoka, I do know.
Yes.
Geist Reservoir, Indianapolis. And even throughout the Midwest, this seems to be a variation right now
This year, yes.
with about, and again, I won't say the word all, but majority of surface water lakes.
Yes.
So in finding this and coming about and in trying to navigate, and I think that's what our folks are interested in another explanation and another understanding. Surface water is so different in the treating aspect because when it comes in raw, you've got to sample it, you've got to test, and you've got to see, okay, we want to apply this chemical. We call our chemists, we call the state, and they say, yes, try it in this dose, try it in this parameter, maybe even try a different injection point.
Yes.
And so those are all things that kind of come and go with, all right, today's problem is a little different than yesterday's problem. Oh, by the way, it's different from last year's problem. As the chemical makeup changes, as the organics react differently. So you ended up, you told me there, we were talking about how we treat algae, and one of our vendors, they first hit the water on March 31st.
That's correct, yes.
And so, again, our due diligence is, okay, we treat this every year.
Yes, they check it every year, and a biologist goes out and does the check too. So even after the treatment, it's checked, and then I get a report on that.
And that biologist then verifies, documents, this is what we see, this is what
Yes.
we need to do. And then they showed back up somewhere around, you said July 2nd?
July 7th?
7th, pardon me,
Yep.
7th. And so in doing so, noticed the initial treatment was working and doing its job.
On the treatment for July 7th was the one where they found the more
Sorry.
algae.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
they found a lot more than they had seen in the past, in like I said, over a decade.
So it was
So-
obvious we needed to bump things up.
We treated, got the permits, went in and treated. We treated twice this year already for algae. And we got ahead of it the first time, but with that intense rain and runoff, the second one hit hard. And it hit everybody, like you said. It wasn't just us. And that, even that smell can go through your filterization. It can go through your treatment. It is a nuisance For sure.
a nuisance, but also, now educate us, board, what I read and what I understand, that also is a component of it working.
It is, yes. When I
So-
told her that we had a really bad taste and smell, she said, good, we got it all. We got most of it anyway. And when they did check, they said that there was a very low cell count and the DO spike was gone. So that meant the treatment was effective. But it left us with geosmin and MIB, which is the smell and the runoff and everything combined was the perfect storm for this event.
And so, okay, we're checking boxes, we're looking at this from a intake to production standpoint. And so, things are working, things are clicking, but again, your job doesn't end at the plant because post-production, help us here, Jennifer, post-production, things change once they get to the towers, once they lay in the lines. Post-production changes in such a way, your limit at the plant needs changed to offset something that may be a slow reaction or a post-reaction.
And definitely the heat played a big factor in that. The lines out there being hot, that's going to take our, eat up more of the chemical that we do produce in there too. So we have to adjust accordingly.
So
And we check throughout the entire city.
the heat in the lines is the warm water.
It is,
So the warm water not only is naturally occurring from the lake,
Yep.
but then it also sits in the tanks.
yes.
There's a period of turnaround time within our tanks. The tanks then are obviously absorbed by consumption. And so you have had to delicately, just like all the other water operators, okay, where do I go with my numbers of adjustment to get the post-production balance?
Yes.
And so that's been a bit of a
Yes.
challenge.
Yeah, and we do check like throughout the treatment, different increments throughout the treatment and then into the distribution system. We check, we have multiple routine sections we check, and also we check special sampling too. So we are consistently out there checking to make sure that we have the right amounts of chlorine and that out there for residuals.
And so let's talk about that for 2 seconds. So in doing that, you have an open line to the state from IBM.
Yes.
And vice versa. They call us just as much as we call them. And so
Yes.
you're reporting and showing and verifying with them. So
Absolutely.
the things we do aren't necessarily on a whim or a knee-jerk
No.
reaction. I guess that's what I'm
We
trying to say.
go through the state and
These
the
are
EPA.
vetted decisions.
Yes,
Okay, and so I think it's a fair shake to say, as partnering with them, because they do say, okay, Jennifer, we like what you're doing, we like what your test results, hey, we never thought about this, and by the way, we're not the licensed operator, we don't have the certifications like you do, you're telling us things that make sense, do it.
yes,
And that's how each and every plant operates, is because there's no same carbon copy operation for Salem, for Stucker Fork,
no.
for Geist Reservoir. They're all a little different.
And I call and set up permits or whatever we need to do to get what we need done. So if we need to change something, we always go through the state. That's going to be something I call first and let them know what the procedure is going to be and what we're looking at.
So being a resolve, hey, first thing is, okay, let's make sure we're not pulling any excess in, and we're not. So you've got the intake right, so the raw looks good, the raw comes in the clarifier, clarifier kicks it out to the filters kicks it out to the high service pumps, boom, it goes to the towers.
It does.
That's obviously an over assumption, but that's basically how we get the water into town. And so as you're monitoring this, so then our next defense is, okay, well, we're going to maintain our utility distribution, and then that's when we go to flushing and finding
Yes.
where we need to go. But again, council, or pardon me, board, we have such a loop system we've talked about numerous times. What Jennifer does could be different from what the West Tower reacts to, from what the standpipe reacts to. And so, okay, so we can flush if we've got the problem area concern looks like the west quadrant, so that's serving from the west tower. We flush excessively there, but because of our loop system, we may pull it back,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, we send it somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And so that's why we do a system-wide flush. That's why we try to get everything out and systematically do it.
Yes,
But when we do that systematically, that also means everything has to be in a perfect world equal. And that's what you're fighting, is because you've got, what'd you say, 87 degrees at the pump, at the
Yes,
intake?
at the- yep.
Water that's just unheard of right now.
high temperatures, yes.
We haven't had high temperatures in the lake over 10 years to this magnitude. So it's staying hot. So let's say the mixer is on one speed, and mixers are just like what you think they are. So let's say the mixer in the west tower is a different RPM than it is at the standpipe. So are we having a different reaction time in the west tower because it holds less gallons
Yeah.
than the standpipe?
Yep.
And so you have been walking a very fine line, in other words.
Yes. And
So nonetheless, you're fighting something that many surface water operators are scratching their head at and trying to
Yes.
get us, all of us through it.
And they have the tinted brown water, they have the earthy, musty smell, they have the same exact problems we're having right now, most of them.
Yeah.
So it is happening in other places, not to say that that's not important here. We are concerned about what we have here, and we are definitely working
Right.
to get that under control and get it fixed as soon as possible. And we have plans to have jar testing done tomorrow. We're going to continue to put things in the best places for the monitoring and quality perimeters that we have. We have consultants coming in for surface water
Certainly,
tomorrow to help.
certainly.
So,
And as you do that and you walk through these things, again, so you're in constant contact with our regulators,
yes,
our overseers.
absolutely.
And they know exactly what's going on. So there's not an issue of, hey, we're skirting anything. No, this is the guidelines. We have to operate within X
Yes,
at a surface water treatment
Yes.
plant. Here's your guidelines. And so they are well aware. Matter of fact, we're on a first name basis.
yes. And we outsource our sampling, most of the sampling out in the distribution system, and that is sent to a lab, and then they send us the approved paperwork. So it's all, documented, and that the water is safe. I mean, if, that's what we do.
That's what we do. And so, again, I like your word nuisance. It's not necessarily reassuring, but it's a nuisance that we know is short-lived.
Yes.
It's a headache for all of our end users if they're
It is.
having it.
Yes,
And that's the other side of the coin. So as this has traveled, as this has evolved, no, we did not have it system-wide at any given time. Did we have a few calls? Absolutely.
yes,
Board, I'm not taking away from the phone calls that came in. Goodness, no. But to say this was system-wide, no. It came in spurts. It came in slugs, if you will, and then migrated. And some areas, and I say the west again, the west quadrant of town seemed to have a little bit more, where others didn't have any.
Yep.
And so, again, there's a process of trying to, okay, what's best for the whole system, and quicker the better. And ultimately, that's what you've been trying to do.
yes,
So moving forward, hey, it's still hot outside. Matter of fact, it was 90 degrees today. You said your chemists are coming back
Yes.
tomorrow to verify.
yes,
And these chemists don't work for the state, they don't work for the city. They're vendors, certainly we bring in and make
Yep.
sure, but those chemists are coming back tomorrow. And so with your treatment process now, and we know through the utility office, yes, the number of spot problems are greatly reduced. Do we still have a couple? Hey, I'm not discounting that a bit, but
No,
do
no.
you feel like we're on the right side of it?
I do, and it's going to get better and better, and, yeah, this is going to be something that we're going to get, and I think it will be good in the future that we know that when we get blooms like this, we're going to find out what we need to do exactly and how to isolate that quicker and easier. This is something that we hadn't had in a very long time, so we are optimizing where we need to inject this, where we need to put this, so that we can get the best results the fastest.
Well, and to your point, and I want to back up, again, this has acted a little differently than
Yes.
even the years past where it might have been an issue.
Yes,
The organics changed. Had we not had the rain event,
exactly,
let's say it had been a heat event only,
yeah.
then that would have been a different chemical
It
makeup.
would, yes,
But the geosmin that's naturally coming out of the woods,
Yep.
the valleys, the intense rainfalls, and especially in that quadrant, if you
Yeah.
look at our data from, National Weather
Yeah.
Service, whoever, up around the Rinkers Creek and Lake
Yes.
John Hay, that's been a big part of our rainfall.
it has. I think we had 7 inches in 3 hours right
Yeah.
over the lake.
Yeah. So that's a large volume
Mm-hmm.
if you take the surface of the lake and then everything that feeds the lake.
Yes,
A lot of new water. And certainly that lake is designed for that,
Yeah.
The 4-foot, almost 4-foot extension, it's made for large events. And so, yeah, we can stockpile a lot of water.
and with all that nutrient coming in, and then the heat behind it, and then the continued rainstorms is what kept it going. I mean, it would have settled out, I think, a lot better had we not just kept getting it. So that was part of it.
Okay, so touch on that for a second. Maybe I glossed over that too quickly. And that's the, kind of the issue with the rain is that it's
It
plummeting that water and it's stirring it up.
Yes,
So it's just like, well, the opposite of settling. As you
Yes.
say. So it's bringing some of that stuff too close to the intake, too close to the pumps.
Yeah.
And even though the decay is doing what it's supposed to,
Yes.
it is no longer growing, but
Exactly.
it's stirring it back up.
yes,
Okay. And so, long story short, there's a lot of science. Jennifer, if you had to say, in a day's time, what do you make 5 adjustments, 20 adjustments? I mean, in other words, tell us, remind us, you don't just go out there and flip the pump on.
we do testing we do testing in our lab, and we'll do a series of tests, and if they tell us what to do, those guidelines tell us process control, that's what you need to do, this needs to go up or this needs to go down and then we do another test 4 hours later, because it takes time for that process to get through to the end, so we will continue. That's why we do different testing throughout the entire treatment to follow that.
But it never ends.
No, it's 24/7, 7 days a week.
Thank you, that's where I was going. So, that's the thing, the operators have always data in front of them, they always have, okay, an adjustment, whether it's with, on the raw side or the final side, there is a constant navigation of what needs to happen.
Yes. Adjusting with filter washes and everything. There's just watching that SCADA and finding out what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And we do it.
Okay, so, let's kind of recap. If things hold level, let's say level, again, board, this is one of those, weather permitting, maybe the next week is the last 90 degrees, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
let's say things are level at 90 degrees. You've made great strides, and you do feel like, and do see, we're on the right side of it.
Yes, and like I said, we're going to do more tomorrow and find out what we can do even more to optimize where we're injecting and just hopefully get this out sooner than later with the different injection points, and hopefully that'll really take care of some of the taste and odor. It is a secondary contaminant that doesn't make it any less of an unpleasant smell and taste, but it is not harmful in itself, so.
And I think that's key to
Yes.
say again. So in a classification, in other words, on a priority list, this doesn't catch the top side of priorities.
No.
This is, hey, you address it, but it's not the end of the world.
No,
The aggravation that we're all humans, human nature kicks in, and so I could certainly attest to that. we all want things to run on an even keel. We think, gosh, if it was working fine 2 months ago, why is it not now? And again, I'm not minimizing that to anybody. And so as we navigate this, just like 6 other surface water treatment plants, again, I want to underline that, we're nowhere near alone.
No.
Okay. Their resolve is on them. Our resolve is right here in this, this operation. So please keep up and continue. That's the science behind it, certainly. Mr. Jones, Mr. Lipke, please, what questions do you have of Jennifer and what comments?
I think she's addressed it very well. Unfortunately, we knew that the rainfall that we got and the heat was going to be a factor, of course, and I'm thankful that not everybody is experiencing this inconvenience, but we're keeping up on it the best we can.
I think she's on top of
Jake?
I have nothing further.
Okay. I know you have plenty of documentation, and you know you've checked your boxes, and we've addressed this the best we can, but thank you at the same token, and keep going. I'm certainly paraphrasing for everybody here. We want to see the end of the light. We want to see it done. We want to see it over, and tomorrow talk about something else. And I certainly echo that. And I'm not a chemist. Certainly the folks who know much more about this are telling and guiding and signing off, and that includes our state partners. So, okay. Jennifer, let's slightly adjust. Your report, please, board, is attached. Okay. On a side note, interesting thing about the fluctuation, or I shouldn't say fluctuation, not the higher temperature. So the ground is consistent now with that higher temperature in the lines, mimicking what the lake is bringing to us. So there's less fluctuating right now. We've had fewer leaks to contend with, and that's an interesting side note to the temperature change. Those pipes are been pretty
true.
quiet, holding that 80-some plus or minus degrees. Any questions of Jennifer's report?
I have none.
it. I have none.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Board, please, page 3 through 4 is your utility adjustment.
You make a motion to accept the utility adjustment.
Mr. Jones makes the motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Dan seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Board, I don't have anything under the unfinished, so please, if you will go to your new business. Resolution 2025-2 is a wastewater reimbursement to the water utility. Pages 5 and 6. As you see, board, when you read through that, the utilities made an agreement in 2020 when they made the purchase. This agreement was not fully satisfied yet, and so Jake put together the findings that we're looking at here. And so it was always assumed that the 50% amount would be paid by the wastewater after the water utility made the purchase. So as you see, there's a little bit of funds yet owed from wastewater. Jake, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, so essentially this is fulfilling something that came before the board about 5 years ago. As you know, the water meters not only serve the water utility, but they're also the means by which you're measuring sewer usage as well. So there's a shared need for those devices. The replacements have to take place over time as any other equipment. So here what we've done is put together a resolution that's just going to allow the fulfillment of that earlier intention.
Okay, board, and you see the resolution gives the prerogative to the clerk treasurer as she sees fit over the next few months. Excuse me. Certainly not to put a pinch on the wastewater utility, but in a timely fashion to satisfy prior to the end of '26. Any questions on that resolution?
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2025-2.
Dan makes the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Jones seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, board, I had Jake and Sally add the next item to your agenda for if we needed to discuss any outdates of the tow rotation application. Jake reviewed it. Jake, that was published and advertised plus or minus 4 years ago.
Yes.
He's reviewed that. Board, this is the invitation for anybody. Certainly anybody with the credentials can make that request based on this. It's a one-page submittal. And so Jake reviewed and said it is current, it is apt for our needs. And so anybody who did want to proceed, certainly it is there for their consideration. And so, Jake, is it your opinion we're good? There's no action on this?
I agree. There's no need to further amend the city code with regard to the towing rotation.
Okay, please then, board, if you'll go to the utility voucher of claims, page 7 through 22.
I'll make a motion, we accept the accounts payable as stated.
Mr. Jones makes the motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Mr. Lipke seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, miscellaneous. There he is. Mark had to make a dash out. Here he's back. Fire Department, new hire, pending perf. Please, Mark, give us a rundown in what you have tonight.
Mark Day, City of Salem Fire Chief. I come before you to ask for approval to make a new hire in the form of John Burchin. He was through our last hiring process, so we were fortunate enough to have a hiring process and still have some guys on that list. It shows that pending perf approval, he has went through perf approval, so he would be here tonight, but he's actually in some mandatory training that we would require of him. So at this time, he's basically taken over the departure of A.J. Lawson, who went to New Albany Fire Department, and if we made this hire, it would put us back at full staff.
Mr. Burcham had been volunteering.
Mr. Burcham is a volunteer at a couple other different departments. He's
Okay.
not been in any kind of active status with us from a volunteer standpoint now.
Okay, okay,
But he is experienced. He does have experience on other volunteer departments.
certainly, okay, okay. And he's been vetted, so pending the perf side of things, gentlemen.
Perf's already approved it.
Sorry,
He's
it is
he's
approved.
ready to go.
Sally's typing, I'll have to get on her. So please, board, if that's your will, we need to give Mark his marching orders.
I'll make a motion for Chief Day to proceed with the new hire.
Dan makes the motion.
I'll second.
Warren seconds. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you. Carbon copy, except we're going to switch gears. Police, Chief Mills. Do you have something similar?
I do, just like Chief Day. I come before you to ask for your approval and blessing to move forward with hiring a new officer. His name is Tacoma Browning. Graduated Scottsburg High School and then joined the Marine Corps. He's now in the Marines, currently working at Jackson County Sheriff's Department as a dispatcher. He's went through our physical agility and did a fine job. Also an interview board, a background check. Also went through the public medical, has passed and received a recommendation from them. So again, I just ask for your approval to move forward with that hiring process. And he has also been approved by PERF retirement. So.
I'll make a motion to.
Mr. Jones makes the motion.
I will be happy to second that motion, Chief.
Thank you.
And seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Both chiefs, so please, could you ask those gentlemen to visit us next month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, as we move down the agenda, one item remaining, the YMCA Halloween event has been scheduled, and so they have asked for the use of the walking trail once again this year. That is their opportunity to set up some civic clubs, service clubs, as well as the Y, different, I guess, call them vendors, if you will, stations for the kiddos to stop at along the trail. So that's October 25th. Chief Mills, no heartburn there, is there?
No, Mayor.
So please, board would just need an approval for that event.
I'll make a recommendation to accept the YMCA Halloween on the walking trail for October 25th, 4 to 6 p.m.
Okay, Dan makes the motion.
I'll second.
Warren seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. Trick or treat it is at the Y. Okay, that brings us to the end. Comments by citizens. We had one to sign up. Mr. Beal, please. Just to verify, we need full name and address.
Full name's Matthew Beal, and address is 302 East Market, new resident.
Thank you. Please, 2 minutes.
Okay, just more clarification for information on the water. Come from a manufacturing world, so we have kind of a raw water product, and we have a finished raw water product. As we are going through our manufacturing, we have different tests that we are constantly doing. I'm assuming we're doing that here. I heard some biologists being called in a couple of times. It seemed like there was a March date, a June date, and maybe a July date. Is that correct?
Yes, 3 different visits on just the lake side, not the plant side.
Okay, and then we have current ongoing tests that are being performed all the time, correct? We have a guidebook where we say, okay, the water is testing at this level right now on the inbound and on the outbound side, correct? We have guidelines that we say we should treat at this level. Maybe it's not working. Has there been any thought process? Has this occurred before in the past? Should we maybe hire a consultant to say our guidebooks need to be rewritten because we are having a constant problem? So we need some yellow areas, we need some orange areas, and some red areas so that we catch this before it gets too bad. Suggestion.
Well said, and that type of procedure is in place, you bet. And thank you for spelling it out in that sense, because I think there is that understanding of what worked last year may not work this year.
Right.
And so maybe that plan of attack needs changed.
Okay.
And certainly those chemists are assisting her, and those are things that, quite frankly, between the chemist, the engineers, some things that the state didn't think of, and so I'm hoping they implement their guidelines. But you raise a very good point, and duly noted.
Okay, just suggestion and question.
Got it, thank you. Okay, board, please. Dan, anything else?
I have nothing, sir.
Truck?
Nope.
Jake?
Nothing.
Cindy, I'll ask just to be nice.
No
All right, I wasn't gonna let you anyways. Okay. We would seek a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Adjourned at 5:44. We'll take about a 2-minute break to get reacclimated, and we will start the common council meeting. Good job.
No, truly, I think it's very important.
How you doing tomorrow? Sorry, buddy. Get out of here.
Gotta get the signatures, don't we?
Oh, yes. Well, he's
Yeah.
she's got dinner plans.
So you tell me you don't want to answer my questions.
No, I told her.
You advise your client to go right to rear side of the question.
That's right. Yeah, here,
He
pass the
let me,
Bible
he won't
down.
let me talk to him, so.
One more. Nope, 2 more.
Thank you. Yeah, it did.
Is that it?
That's it, yes.
One more.
I know, there's a lot.
All right. We're still killing trees.
It's walking into a bad situation. I'm just doing it for 1 year. That's it. Still not get by as coaches.
Hello. I'm good, thank you.
How you doing?
No, you wouldn't. Not at all. Not at all.
Walked in and saw this.
Actually, 36,000.
Hi, Logan.
We got some calls down there. So my understanding is this
It's just a little more show, you know?
you guys called me on the
Keep her fingers smelling great, too.
That's supposed to be.
That's terrible.
It's not that. I was like, I was gonna ask her, I said, "You smell something?"
You got her warm for me.
Hey, anytime. I don't have a card on me, but that's fine. But you, it's science, and I, again, I wouldn't make it an excuse for nothing. Thank goodness we're like
Trying to explain this like.
Okay.
It's zoned rural residential.
So they want to make it commercial, right?
So, I'll explain the background of this during the meeting.
Okay.
But
Nice.
essentially,
Okay. Nice.
what they were really after
Well,
was
hey,
setbacks.
Okay, as a matter of housekeeping, we are live. The YouTube channel for the Common Council tonight is the same. Salem City Hall, at Salem City Hall, please. We appreciate anybody who'd like to watch and attend. And so we are broadcasting. So it is now time, slightly past. We will call the Common Council meeting to order here August 11th in the council chambers. We will have first tonight our invocation, followed by our pledge. Danny, would you lead us?
Yes, sir. Our Father in heaven, once again we come to you at this time in prayer, thanking you for this day and all the wonderful blessings of life. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity that we can come here and meet together as elected officials and constituents of the city and county. We pray that the things that we say and do here tonight will be in accordance to your holy and divine word. Lord, we ask you keep us safe, guide, guard, and direct us, return us to our homes safely. These favors and all others we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Please face the flag. I pledge
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Roger. Let's start the agenda, please, with roll call.
Dan Libke, District 1.
Dylan Moore, District 2.
Jake Vissing, City Attorney.
Justin Green, Mayor.
Cindy Brandenburg, Deputy Clerk Treasurer.
Diana Apple, District 3.
Randy Lee, District 4.
Roger Pennington at large.
Okay, we are all here, present and accounted for. Diana is now going to be a pro. This is her second, so look out. She's on fire. Sally is out tonight, gang. She is at her annual Clerk Treasurers Conference, so Cindy was kind enough, certainly, to sit in and share that burden of Sally's job tonight. So please, get back to your agenda, if we could. Minutes of the last meeting, pages 1 and 2.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 14th meeting.
Dylan makes the motion to approve. Randy seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, papers, mayor's comments. I shared with the Board of Works a few of these, and so in case one or two were late attendees, please, let's go back through them real quick. I just wanted to hit on some construction and some updates on South Main. Again, our water line replacement to upsize and navigate a new path down South Main that connects the south gate of the square to the bridge abutment. It is in the ground. It is, the services run off of it, and certainly that part is done. There's a punch list outstanding with a few valves that need straightened. There's a couple that didn't. They got, a little jaw jacked, if you will. So there's some items remaining that contractor has to finish. But otherwise, that part of the project, which is well ahead of the federal highway project, that part's pretty much done. So there's been some comments, some questions. Oh my gosh, I hope that's not final product on the asphalt. Oh, no, no, no. And so I wanted to bring that back up. Those patches are just that. And so those trenches, by design, we didn't want to, never was intended to leave that form. So you've got to put some aggregate down. Most of that is just binder. It was never meant to be top coat. And so when the total project comes through, all that gets milled shoulder to shoulder, if you will, curb to curb. And that is a true reconstruct, if you will, in the sense of curb, gutter, sidewalk, streetscape. It's the whole thing that mirrors, I use that often, it mirrors what North Main was from the from the north gate to the stoplight. And so your final product on South Main comes in a very similar form. So there is still some telecommunication, telecom providers that are navigating a few things. When they have shared poles, that's an interesting thing. Then it becomes a finger point. Well, who owns this pole? Well, is it Frontier? Is it Spectrum? They all say, well, it's not mine. Well, you've got 10 lines hanging off of it. I think one of you own it. So, at any rate, that's being navigated and finished up. And as soon as the telecoms get their conflicts moved, then NDOT, as they oversee the federal highway dollars, NDOT will then give the nod to go ahead and proceed with the road work. Here it is August, so I do intend, I think we're early. I think we'll see some action on that this year. And so that's still a big project, my goodness, but the final product will be what we all look for and are very anxious to see. So speaking of construction, Poplar Street, as I've mentioned to you, Council, is the CCMG, the Community Crossing Matching Grant that we're doing there from Main Street to Water Street. And that, again, was plagued, as I've mentioned to you, with a lot of stormwater issues. That's getting cleared up, so the drainage is now appropriate to get down there. There was several other utilities, not just municipal owned, but Duke had some issues, so now they're going underground. They needed to clean up some items. A lot in that one block, my goodness, but it's being all addressed and certainly on task and on schedule. The Kimball Boulevard, I did tease last month, is the next Community Crossing Matching Grant project. Gang Hay, we all know that intersection leading into Kimball Boulevard's got a lot of traffic with the retail development, so that road is deteriorating. So it is time to address that, and it is a perfect CCMG project. So that will be next in the line of those activities. Something just to share with you real quick again, the next On the Brick series that I've been doing is one titled Baked on the Bricks. And so those local bakers who do cakes, cookies, pies, breads, anything of that nature that can comply with some of the state home baked good rules, they get to set up. We're doing a vendor base for them. And so that is August 22nd, 6 to 9. So please, if you're so interested, I know Danny's got some recipes. If we can get him certified, he'll be there. I don't know what he's bringing, but he's going to bake and show up. Anyways, that'll be a good night. Hope to see you all there. Tomorrow, timely, the Indiana University Center for Rural Engagement, the IUCRE, as it's abbreviated, will be back in town. They're the folks that helped us with a variety of projects, and I was indicating to the Board of Works, they were instrumental in the pocket park out back. So the ladies that you see on the mural for the historic painting, as well as the pocket park, the CRE put a lot of that together on our behalf, and they're back in town looking at some things, hopefully bringing us some more ideas and maybe some partnership opportunities. So that is tomorrow. And lastly, I want to share with you some additional construction items. Cooley Contracting with a U, C-U-L-Y. Cooley Contracting has the award for the manhole rehabilitation. So if you've seen the, looks like UFO landings in the middle of the street, the perfect circles, that's what's going on all across Salem. And so in a priority list that was gave to them as they bid on it, they are rehabbing the exterior rings of those structures and then working down as it needs repaired in any way, shape, or form. And so what's nice about them, council and our street department has already high-fived them because part of the bid specs was to make it all flush. So no more jarring of the teeth with a snowplow. That has been a real issue for 100 years for every city, is when you got a manhole lid that's just a ½ inch, quarter inch off. That's part of that design, and so my gosh, that will make a world of difference if we've got to plow a street. So anyways, just to let you know, and they're all over Salem, so as they meander, as we shared with the Board of Works, it still amazes me. We have over 900 manholes. Just unbelievable. So there's a lot that need addressed and a lot need inventoried, and that's what they're doing on the priority list. They're doing the worst ones first. Okay, please, if we can, let's go to reports. Your financial statement is on page 3 through 9. Did Sally give you any instructions, Cindy, to report?
No.
Okay. Council, then with the report in front of you, would seek motion to approve.
Make a motion to accept the financial statements for July 2025.
Danny makes the motion.
Second.
Diana seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. If you will, page 10 and 11 is your senior citizen report. Naomi has attached, and again, a full schedule and calendar attached to it. Okay, please, if you will, unfinished old business, pretty much discussed that. Please, I was watching our crowd, council, everybody was here in our water discussion with Jennifer, and so I want to underline again the process from start to finish, treating raw water to getting it to the clarifier, through the filters, to the high service pumps, to the tanks, to your faucet, has been a very ongoing process and always will be. Hey, she's treating surface water lake, not a groundwater system, and it is tight and it is cumbersome and it is no excuse, but it's different. It is just different, and so I did share with them, and hopefully you all heard, we're not alone. There's 6 other, at least 6 other surface water plants that we know of are going through a similar process right now. Jennifer is on the right side of it. She made some very candid statements about her application process and being compliant with IDEM, sending that data off, and them acknowledging exactly what she's doing. So it's a process. Wouldn't say I'm happy with it. Wouldn't say wish it on my enemy. It's just one of those aggravating things. And so we're getting through it and on the right side of it. So please, we've got a variety of new business tonight. Council, next and first is ordinance 2025-13, progressive engineering / Martinsburg rezoning on page 12 and 13. Jake was in attendance for the Salem Plan Commission meeting when this was approached, and the applicant did come before the Plan Commission to seek said approval. So Jake, please let us know what we're looking at.
Yes, so this is a little over 30 acres on Martinsburg Road that's owned by the applicant. It backs up to the Pine Meadows, Norway Drive subdivision. I say in the rear, opposite Martinsburg Road. So it's currently zoned RR, Rural Residence District. They requested to be rezoned to general business, B1. That said, their plans for the property are to develop it for single-family residential, and in the public hearing before the Plan Commission, it really revealed itself that the reason they were seeking that zoning classification had more to do with the setbacks that accompanied the B1 zoning rather than the use. As I'm sure you all know, B1, it allows anything that would also be allowed in an R3 residential district, which seemed to be more fitting with what the intended use is. So in discussion with the applicant, in discussion amongst the Plan Commission ultimately decided to pass it along with a favorable recommendation, subject to a requirement or a condition that the applicant record against the land a written commitment to restrict the use for detached single-family dwellings. It would still allow the type 1 and type 2 in-home occupations in the same procedures that are already set forth for those in the zoning ordinance, and it would impose a minimum side yard setback of 5 feet where the B1 zoning classification does not have a minimum side yard setback. So a little bit of a roundabout way of getting to the final destination, but that's what they ultimately felt comfortable with recommending on to the council for final approval.
Jake, just for the council's benefit, and so the motion made and passed that was sent to the council did come with these provisions, and these provisions stay with the deed. These are things that if the developer builds the home, sells the home, the next 2 or 3 owners, it does not revert. Those restrictions will stay as a recorded deed.
That's correct. So it's a written commitment is essentially, you may be familiar, in maybe where you live, there might be a declaration of covenants, conditions, and restrictions in your neighborhood, which a developer will record against the whole of the development before they start selling off lots. And essentially that's where, maybe your homeowners association is created, and it gives the neighbors the ability to enforce certain use and developmental standards against their neighbors. What this is it's really, it's similar, except that it's the city's ability to enforce this like any other zoning obligation or restriction on the property. The only way that it could be removed is to petition and come back and have the restrictions in that commitment removed with council approval. So same thing again, as the mayor said, it's going to run with the land. Somebody goes to buy a home in this hypothetical new subdivision. Their title company searches the title records. This written commitment's going to come up, and they're going to take title subject to these restrictions. So,
So they could ask for the restriction to be lifted per property or per the entire
Per property.
development?
any
So on an individual basis?
any
per
future
lot.
owner could come, any future owner whose property is subject to the restriction could come back and ask that it be removed, because there'll be a successor in interest essentially to the applicant who initially restricted the property.
If it's unrestricted, could it be restricted again?
Only with the consent of the owner of the property, so.
Well, and I think I know where Roger's going, but that would require a public hearing, and so all neighboring property owners would once again have to have a center stage.
Yes.
Correct.
So it gives the public an opportunity to come in and speak their mind either for or.
Correct. If they were to petition to remove it, it would be a public hearing item, and, it would come in just like, coming in for this zoning change request.
I have a few things on
Please.
this topic here. So obviously live in this neighborhood that adjoins this property. And I have been approached by several homeowners back there that are not very happy with the design and the layout of this plot on how it's going to happen. We were told one thing whenever, this discussion started happening about, the possibility of a subdivision being put on Martinsburg Road. We were told that there was going to be no entrance through Pine Meadow. Now it looks like, or sounds like, that they're going to be putting an entrance in there. I guess my only thing and thought would be to let's table this and make them bring us a plan of exactly what's going to happen and exactly what the layout of this property is going to be before we approve another thing for it. I feel like we've done a lot of groundwork for them on this. We've already approved one ordinance for it. I know that for sure. This would be ordinance number 2 to satisfy their piece of property. I'm all for the additional housing that it's going to create. I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. I think as a council, we need to take a step back and look at this and see what their actual plan is going to be before we approve another zoning change. That's just my thought.
Let me add context. Dylan's referring to, this was the petition to annex, voluntary annexation. So this now is governed completely. It is no longer a 2-mile fringe. This acreage is in the city limits per the last request. So that he's right. That was the first notion, if you will, moving forward to this subdivision. So Jake, please, let's ask you Dylan's point about site plan and how that would look in which board.
So they will have to come in and get plat approval. They'll have to come in and get both primary and then secondary plat approval. Essentially, your subdivision control ordinance sets forth the objective criteria that they must show in order to satisfy it. It has to comply, obviously, with setbacks. One of the things that's an item here that we would be required, if the Plan Commission's requests were to be affirmed by the council tonight, that it would be one of the things touched on in the written commitments. But essentially, the staff would be reviewing the plat. There would be a public hearing before the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission would be evaluating the plat that was submitted against the criteria in the subdivision control ordinance and also the developmental standards of the zoning ordinance and any written commitments that may be applicable. And if it satisfies all of those criteria, then they have to approve it. Then it goes on to secondary plat approval, which is a little bit more detailed with the engineering plans and the infrastructure. And before they can start going out there and developing it, they have to get that through secondary plat approval or final plat approval.
Will that plat approval ever come in front of the council?
It would not. It's plat approval processes occur before the Plan Commission.
And that's where I have a little bit of heartburn, because we're never going to get to see it. We're never going to say, okay, we like this as a council, or we don't like this as a council. I know it's kind of, I get it both ways. It's kind of not a council decision because it's more of a Plan Commission. I get that. But we're also laying the road work for all these ordinances, and we haven't even seen what the houses are gonna look like. I mean, in here it says the side yards have to be a minimum of 5 feet apart. They could stack 89 houses inside of there 5 feet apart. Like
Did they not have to present any kind of a site plan to the plan commission?
So they did provide a, kind of a draft preliminary plat, at the zoning, the hearing for the zoning request.
Public hearing.
Yeah, public hearing. It was a public hearing. There were no public commenters in the audience, just, for context, for the hearing. But they did bring that in, and showed what they were planning to do, but that's not actually their submission. They didn't bring any elevations in terms of what they're planning the houses to look like, siding materials, things like that, but typically that's kind of a much later stage.
So there's several more hurdles that have to be crossed before this happens.
That's correct.
There'll be several more opportunities for the public to have input, either for or against.
That's correct.
So this decision, if we approve this tonight, is not a final do-all.
Correct.
It's just another hurdle that has to be crossed by the developer.
It's a check a box in the next step.
Right.
Yeah.
Really, the decision on a rezone, in particular with the issues here, I mean, it's really use and setbacks are the two things that you're tackling with this, not necessarily the final layout of the subdivision.
So to Dylan's point, and he's not wrong in asking the question, is there more teeth to be put into a final plan? And yes, those are things that I think do come back and need vetted. Won't discount it all what he's saying. That those are items that, yes, are still looming on a final approval. And if there's a solution or a common ground, hey, those need to be addressed. And you're right, Dylan. There's a chance that needs to happen.
I mean, I absolutely do have all intentions of going to the Plan Commission and speaking on this as well. So, but I just want that to be known. I've talked to these neighbors that live around there. I told them I would come in here and at least voice the opinion. So,
yeah, and I mean, I would also caution against, maybe restricting any means of ingress or egress into a future development, until you're going to want to get the input of the Board of Public Works as well as, our public safety chiefs in here to talk about that, or to provide input on that and what would be best in terms of a public safety standpoint for access.
Jake, educate us. The ordinance 2025-13 is coming tonight as a favorable recommendation.
Correct.
And
Subject to the condition to require written commitment with the conditions we've discussed regarding detached single-family residential use exclusively, and to impose a minimum side yard setback of 5 feet.
if the council is so willing, is this, what motion are you looking for?
So the council can, do, I guess, 4 things here. It could approve the ordinance as presented with the condition that the Plan Commission recommended. You could also approve it without said condition. You could approve it and impose a different condition or additional conditions, or you could deny it.
Okay, council, I'll give you 2 cents of my opinion. I don't like option 2 because, yes, you want to honor some things that have been discussed and debated already. So I think at a minimum, if you have an appetite, you should at least leave the 3 provisions that are detailed.
can we add a provision that says that they have to bring their site plan in front of the council?
I don't believe so, because it's not the council's pure purview to approve plats.
Okay.
I would make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-13 as presented.
As presented.
Yes, with the stipulation in there.
Roger makes the motion to approve as presented with the Plan Commission's 3 deed restricted items. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Dan seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
4 and 1, if I heard right. Thank you. Okay, council. Jake, this is first read, only read. What's your preference?
A zoning change just requires the one read, so once passed, it can be dated and is considered adopted.
Okay. So this would be at earliest public hearing in September. Oh, sorry, get my months off. At earliest public hearing in August,
Correct.
providing all of the deadlines are met and neighbors are notified. So it could be September, but nonetheless, that will be a Plan Commission agenda item.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, council, let me get my glasses to focus. Looks like we are ready now. Ordinance 2025-14 is a transfer ordinance on page 14 and 15. Sally has sent you tonight some in-house transfers, so this is no new money, no additional appropriation, nothing of that sort, other than one item to another item in those funds that have excess and can benefit the other line item. So Cindy, once again, did Sally give you any comment?
No, just what you said, just the
Okay.
cleaning up.
So ordinance 2025-14 is just that, an item of housekeeping.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-14.
Dylan makes the motion.
Second.
Diana seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, please, ordinance 2025-15, general obligation bond, or GOB, is sometimes as we refer and abbreviate. So let me give you some history again, council, please. We had everybody here, no, sorry. Danny and Dylan, I guess, pardon me. Roger and Randy were just after the fact. This is a repeat look of something we did 3 years ago. It's actually, now we're in our 3rd year. Frost Brown Todd assisted with this discussion, as well as Reedy Financial. The general obligation bond was something that was presented to the Common Council as a additional revenue stream with a tax neutral, meaning we didn't raise taxes, we didn't implement anything new. Actually, to the contrary, Danny, Dylan, if you recall, we actually reduced the tax rate in this presentation. And so we benefited our residents a few pennies off and kept a tax neutral general obligation bond discussion going. And so that was a process that we approved, as many municipalities now have across the state. This come before us as financial advisors are telling municipal governments when you are needing to look at funding other expense that your common council budget may be short on, your public safety may be short on, anything that is within the tax revenues, this is something that is considered and done, whether it's municipal government, county government, school systems. They all have, under Indiana code, the option to adopt a general obligation bond. And so we did that 3 years ago, and it has proven very effective, very satisfactory, and matter of fact, those two gentlemen, I can tell you matter of factly, the police and fire have benefited from it in some purchases that we would have struggled and not sure how we would have done. We've done several things with Park and Rec. We've done things with the animal shelter and so on. So Jake, before we get into what's before us, I know your colleague is more in this vein of guidance, but Matt Duncan is not here tonight. Matt Duncan has prepared a lot of documents in the past revolving around this. Tell us again, what am I leaving out and not explaining? This is something that, so moving forward, it does the same thing, correct?
Yes, yes.
And again, the last one was a 3-year note, if you want to call it as such. And so it's about to expire.
Correct.
And so, again, the Indiana code says municipal governments do have the prerogative, schools, counties, the taxing unit has the prerogative to reintroduce and do the same thing. And again, I or Sally, neither one would even bring this up if it wasn't tax neutral once again. This is not anything we're asking or promoting that says, okay, we want to jump something to this level. No, that's not what it does. It maintains the rate we've got. And so,
So our current one's getting ready to expire,
the
basically.
current GOB, so in succession,
Yes.
Dylan, like a car note, this is expired, and we need to re-up, we need to renew and do it again, and keep the bond current. And so Indiana code says, okay, when you're looking at that, you've got to make provisions ahead of the new year. So just like in 2022, we did this in the early fall, and so there will be podium discussion next meeting, because this is only first read as it says in your book. This is only to say, council, tonight you authorize the discussion to happen at a public hearing. And again, so that is when the public is notified, and we do have the opportunity for discussion. There's plenty of questions that I would want you to ask of our financial advisors. There are certainly things that you would like to know as far as forecasting. They'll be here. Reedy Financial will be here certainly to answer all those. Matt Duncan from the attorney side of things to go over the bond itself.
And actually, my colleague Bo Zeller will be here
Oh,
for that
good
meeting.
grief.
I know, I'm sorry for you all.
Sometimes you get the B team, you never know. Anyways, so yes, this is just that, first read to reintroduce, Dylan, to your point, and keep it current with the city of Salem. Jake, that is a high overview, and I know, again, this isn't necessarily your window, but please, what else would you like to interject?
Yeah, so I think the main thing I want to reiterate is this is really just the launch off point here with the first reading. So what'll happen after this is there will be a public hearing on this at the next meeting, and next month's meeting in September. At that time, you'll be able to you'll be getting a little bit more into the nuts and bolts of, what this is going to allow you to fund potentially, in have those further discussions, and ultimately you'll have the ability to adopt it on second and final reading after that discussion. So, again, this is just a launch off point to set everything else in motion for the process.
And I want to point out, thank you, Jake, on page 17, it does have a placeholder under section 2. The 1.5, the $1,500,000 is the max. Quite frankly, I think Reedy Financial has already put numbers together. It looks like 1.3 would be the max under our availability. And so again, that works in a window. You don't spend that. You don't have the concept that it's one and done, because you spread that over the term. And so those funds are there the entire term of the bond until you draw down. Currently, I can tell you we have drawn down, and we're, pardon me if I'm off a little, I think we're down to about $50,000 out of the 2025. So we've spent it down, we've used it, it's been very beneficial.
Out of the 2022.
From 22 to today.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we're down to 50,000.
I have a couple of things.
Please, please.
So this is a 3-year bond. We have to pay it back in 3 years?
Correct. So, and that's what
So we're borrowing potentially $1.5 million, and we gotta pay it back in 3 years. That would be $500,000 a year.
Sorry, your question, go ahead, that's not what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
okay, I'm confused because the math would be
No.
completely insane to do that because your repayment would be exactly what you're borrowing.
Right, sorry.
So what's the length of the repayment?
There is, because it is a tax pass-through. So it is, in essence, you're receiving those net revenues now under a GOB. So it is part of,
So if we're receiving the revenue, why do we have to borrow the money?
it's a tax, it's within the tax rate, the tax code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows. I mean, Gateway is an amazing thing for people. I would encourage everybody to look at Gateway, and I don't know if anybody has looked recently, but I looked this afternoon, and currently, the city of Salem, including our water utility and our sewer utility, we have $31.4 million of debt right now. In 2011, we had 7.4.
That's right.
In 2019, we had 6.7.
That's right.
The AV has went up every year for the last 5 years. It went up by 9% in 2022. So we are taking in, we should be taking in enough to get ahead of our budgetary problems, but we're not.
No, and that's where I wish you had been around for the last discussion. So yes, you're short that information until next month. That is part and parcel exactly what's going across the state with circuit breaker. That is why we don't collect over $1 million a year in tax revenue.
Well, I don't understand how, I mean, to me, this is like being in credit card debt and using a credit card to pay for credit card debt. I don't see any new, this doesn't create any kind of economic development.
Oh, sure it does, absolutely does.
I mean, in
Oh
your
my
project
gosh.
list, I see nothing that would,
Oh,
that I would
that's
see
a
that
far stretch. No, that absolutely does.
I'm
And-
seeing-
And if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have had a lot of things that would have
well, I
occurred.
understand that, but I'm seeing
And-
servers and printers and computers.
That's
and-
right, because those needs are now paid out of the GOB and not the Common Council General Fund.
Well,
So you are now supplementing all those daily needs from those departments. Those are capital improvement projects. They're capital purchases.
I mean, I see debt exploding. I see no way to pay this.
Well-
Our debt is going down. That's just my opinion. I think Dylan talked about pumping the brakes earlier on something, and I appreciate that, and we didn't agree on that, but I see, I'm lost. This makes absolutely no sense to me.
Well, it makes a lot of sense to a lot of municipalities. So many have adopted this, and to that point,
That doesn't
you
make it
can't,
right.
you can't loop the utility debt. That is not fair.
It's still- Well, it's still debt that we have to pay back.
But it's not taxpayer debt.
You're right, it's user fee, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't say the city of Paoli has $31.4 million of debt. It says the city of Salem does.
And
And I
that-
think until we get real and we start
Yeah.
talking about that, this issue is gonna catch up with us at some point. And
Well,
I'm
it's
not-
about to, you're right, and if we don't pass this again, it's going to get real nasty in '26. So
So we're gonna
that's,
have to continue to borrow money to operate the city.
that is part and parcel what's going on with the state right now. And so when we get the final numbers, which we already have the basic numbers on SEA 1, yeah, we're $250,000 short next year, on top of circuit breaker.
Then at some point, it's gonna take somebody to make some serious and hard decisions about what direction our city is going. And unfortunately, it's probably gonna be people sitting up here. And I think the easy thing to do is to borrow $1.5 million, and that is eventually gonna catch up with us. I mean, I don't think you have to have a master's degree in business to figure that out. If you look at the numbers, and I'm a numbers person, these numbers don't lie. So I'm not trying to scare everybody, but I mean, our debt has exploded in the last 7 or 8 years.
Well, you're right, and I implore anybody to get on Gateway, and if you want to compare apples to apples, we're doing very well.
I mean-
I wish we had some of these other cities' problems that we don't have.
I mean, in 2023, we spent $1,306 per person per capita in the city of Salem. Scottsburg spent $951. Sellersburg only spent $2 more than we did per person. I would think Sellersburg.
Yeah, and what's the revenue?
Well,
You don't have it there.
and we sure don't have it. Yeah, they have it, we don't.
That's right, and so.
But we're
so-
spending as much as they are, we don't have the money to spend.
And so when we talk about services rendered, we have to keep operating. And so,
Nobody's
again,
saying
this is not a discussion tonight as far as how it works. This is discussion tonight because it has to be teed up. And so This
Yeah,
doesn't commit the
financial
city to
advisors.
anything. This doesn't commit us to signing any loan docs. This doesn't commit us to saying it's a good deal or it's a bad deal. This doesn't do anything other than saying, Jake, this ordinance 2025-15 gives us the opportunity to look at this one more time.
Yep, it's to have a public hearing, to bring in the financial advisor, to bring in bond counsel, and to discuss essentially the financial impact and, pros and cons
Right.
of adopting it. and
Maybe I
continuing
jumped the
it.
gun. Those questions should have been for the financial
That's right.
advisor.
That's okay.
But
And I want you to.
I'm just
Those-
very passionate about
Those,
this.
those are great questions, and that's not what we're doing tonight. That's not in any way, shape, or form committing us to signing any obligatory note. This is just this step of saying, okay, we authorize the discussion at a public hearing.
Make a motion to accept ordinance number 2025-15.
I'll second that.
Council motion made to approve first read of only the entertainment of the general obligation bond public hearing. Dillon seconds. Is there, pardon me, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Diana, I'm sorry? 3-2. Okay, we will have this on the docket next month. And so please, 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 yes, I implore you, have all your questions. And so it will be data-driven, certainly, and I want you to ask, and we will make sure we get all questions answered in understanding and not leaving something off. Now, the next ordinance is 2025-16, same, general obligation bond, GOB additional appropriation, first read. And so, Jake, tell us, page 35 and 36 does the first read because, and again, this is not signing any obligatory note, this is not putting any financial institution on notice, this is just saying if second read and adoption was to take place, that monies and documents would transfer prior to December 31st.
Correct.
And so you have to do a succession because, again, State Board of Accounts says you've got to look at the calendar year you're looking at the money, and so this money is not anywhere found in the 2025 budget.
Correct.
So again, doesn't mean anything's going to happen. This is just the ordinance that says it sets the stage, and now you have it ready if it was to pass.
That is correct. It's really an administrative act here.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-16.
Quick question though.
Please.
The date on that, that would be when it would go into effect if? September 8th, 2025?
Yes, in the sense of,
Correct. If it were to be passed,
Right.
it would be at next month's meeting for second and final reading.
I just wanted to confirm that for myself. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, pardon me, Dylan, make the motion.
I'll second Mr. Moore's.
Dan seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, same way. Okay, yes, okay. The accounts payable voucher of claims, page 37 through 74.
page 53 and 56, there's two expenditures for the exact same amount, for the exact same vendor. I'm assuming that wasn't a typo, just to make sure. Came out of two different accounts, but the amount payable is the same. It would be the 10 Point Temple, the $12,950 for improvements on West Market Street. It's on there twice. Was that on 56 and 53? Maybe that was something that was split into two different bills to be paid out of two different accounts. That's probably what it is. Oh,
Yeah.
do you see that? Is that?
Yeah, yes, that's, pardon me, that's
That
what
was just
Sally's
split.
notes,
Okay, that was just
less
split.
from, yes.
Okay,
Yep. Tune cap, yep,
all right.
please, yep.
I make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Roger makes a motion to approve claims as presented. Dylan seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Miscellaneous. So, and to then that note, this was the abbreviated budget discussion. Next month, guys, these chairs are padded, I know, but there's still going to be a lengthy meeting, so we have a lot of things to tee up on first read next month for all things revolved around 2026. And so, please, that is next month. That leads us to comments by citizens, and we have none that's signed. So, please, at 6:38.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Okay, Dan makes the motion. One of the two. I'm not sure who got it first.
Okay, we'll put Diane's.
Diane, okay.